I can use my house again. And I'm about to make that everyone's problem. I know, I'm known for my long-winded introductions, but this one's important. Especially these days with the lightning speed insanity coming from on high, from a man on a high. The current regime is clearly trying to push some sort of standard, and more it becomes an act of rebellion to simply oppose it or contradict it in any way. Which, for some of us, that means simply existing in our own bodies and being happy with the lifestyles we've chosen. But for those with more means than ends, it means putting on a pretty dress and donating a metric ton of money. Despite the rise of rhetoric about the good old days where the wives were obedient and the families were as nuclear as Chernobyl, the truth is that the perception of any era is largely fictional, seen through rose-colored glasses and old TV shows. I watch people romanticize the early 2000s as if they were some wild west of fashion and self-expression, when people forget that 20 years ago, the sitting president essentially sacrificed an entire generation. Size 8 was considered plus size, and it was an act of rebellion to wear a pink polo shirt. While there is some truth about every heavily mythologized era due to expected gender roles or societal expectations, trad wives and white picket fences were largely aspirational or honestly just straight up fictional. In every era, most people just did what worked for them at the time to survive and eventually thrive. I was in college during the Great Recession. I was lucky enough to have a small allowance, but mostly just for food and essentials. Buying things like a nice shirt or a pastry was a luxury for me because I didn't have a job. One thing that's certain in every era is uncertainty. And when times are especially hard, little things like cosmetics become a luxury. That's why the lipstick index exists. There seems to be this misunderstanding that black dandyism is something proto-retro, but when the going gets tough, and in our case, incredibly chaotic, it's vital that we exercise every little bit of agency we can, even if it's misunderstood. Superfine works in two ways, meaning the wool that a fine suit is made out of, and a play on a colloquial phrase in the era black dandyism really took off, superfly. Originally, the image of the black dandy was forced on black men by British slave owners as a sign of wealth, but it was eventually reclaimed, like a lot of stuff in our culture, in the post-emancipation era. Though the style was widely mocked by those who didn't understand, it's still an act of taking back power that we didn't have before. But that mocking and that ridicule still persists today. No matter how we're dressed or how respectable we act, some people are just racist. The words change over the years. When I was growing up, it was ghetto, and nowadays it's toxic or low vibrational, whatever the hell. Regardless, the thing about black fashion is that it's rarely well understood, no matter how empowering it might be to the wearer. Check the news. Things are bad. Like really bad. While we help each other, we can't forget to help ourselves. And that means being alright with being a little misunderstood. Maybe even a little cringe. Black dandyism's bright colors and extravagant jewelry are an act of control. A peacock chooses when to spread its feathers. The Met is not a shining example of art appreciation by any means, nor am I saying that everyone I mention in this video is magically becomes a good person by participating in this. Just because someone is right doesn't make them worth following. I'm not in the business of mooning over millionaires rubbing elbows with other millionaires, but art is a reflection of human nature and history, especially the art that we wear. In the age of AI, trying to sanitize everything into little, inoffensive, bite-sized pieces, it's important that we preserve art in all of its beauty and its ugliness, because some of these outfits are actually pretty bad. As you can tell by the fact that I'm wearing no makeup and a gray t-shirt, I am not a fashion girly, so what we are actually grading these outfits on is if they understood the assignment. So we are looking for bright and bold colors that is including white. We're looking for bold patterns, specifically West African inspired patterns. We are also looking for an emphasis on menswear, and we are looking for bold and ostentatious jewelry. We're also gonna mix in a little bit of old Hollywood glam. While that's not necessarily a requirement, we'll kind of mix it in there. Dandyism did come up in like old Hollywood because we were looking for some bright, bold colors to stand out on what eventually became newly colored television. So I'm also gonna have some opinions on how the outfits look in general. You know this channel, you know I'm here for literary and thematic analysis, and that's what we're sticking with. But if I have some opinions on how the outfits look, because some of them definitely have looks. Kylie Jenner looks bored. She definitely gave it a shot with the fine fabric and the, that's tweed. The thing with the Kardashians and Jenners is they always lead with the sexy. They tend to think that's enough. It's not. Nicki Minaj understood the assignment. We've got a very tight silhouette. We've got flowers. We've got the, we're missing the jewelry. It's just, the outfit looks messy. Shakira, who's got a lot of old Hollywood glam, her train looks like a trash bag. But we've got the silhouette, we've got the gloves, and we've got the glam. Kendall Jenner, I get it. The tapered suit, the fine fabric, the shoulder pads, the jewelry. She understood the assignment, it's just boring. Rosalia, I don't know who you are, but you look like a very bored bride. Yara Shahidi looks angry. She does not want to be there. Certainly understood the assignment, but even with the fine coat, don't necessarily have a tight tapered silhouette, but the shoulder pads and the high-waisted pants and the silk shirt, we are missing like a really nice watch. We've got the rings, so she understood. Miranda Kerr, sure. I am not sure about this middle section here. I know it's supposed to be a suit jacket. This outfit looks like it tripped on the way out the door. That's all I'm saying. Lauryn Hill, and on time no less, with the shoulder pads and the tapered coat. She looks amazing. Full afro, which I love. I love it. It screams luxury. It screams I understood the assignment. Jenny Kim. Oh, so, okay. We've got a silhouette. Hats seem to be a really big theme in this particular set. And I get the hats, but I would have preferred more natural hair. People who don't have natural hair like I do or can't really rock the afros, I get the hats. That I understand. The thing that I am not vibing with, if we're looking for something that meld feminine and something ultra masculine, I don't think high cut pants are the way to go. The thing with a lot of retro suits, especially for going with something very masculine, are normally wide-legged pants. Something with this slim a cut, it really doesn't scream masculine. It screams I'm going to brunch with the girls. But I mean, she looks great regardless. Mona Kosar Abdi looks incredible, but she did not understand the assignment. Hunter Schafer, we have a nice silhouette, we have wide-leg pants, we have a nice coat. There's really nothing more I could say about this. We're missing the jewelry. Nicole Scherzinger, some very nice statement jewelry. She is definitely breasting boobily. Beautiful, but still slightly wrinkly train. It looks slightly less trash baggy than Shakira's. Kim Kardashian gave it a shot. Kim Kardashian is always doing like stunts and statements on the Met Gala carpet, like when she bought and subsequently ruined Marilyn Monroe's dress. She's not really even wearing the right hat. Lala Anthony. I forgot who Lala Anthony was, but I like this. We have an actual melding of the masculine and the feminine, kind of like when people do the bride and groom mixed together. That's what this reminds me of. Ego Nwadim? Ego? It's gotta be Ego. But she looks great. She understands. Even though her outfit looks like it sneezed halfway through, we have the high cut pants. We've got the nice statement jewelry, big bold hair, a great silhouette, and I love the touch of the rainbow buttons here. The little splash of color. Oh, and she has little buttons on her nails. Tiana Taylor. Oh, I wouldn't just say she understood the assignment. She embodies it. She is the meaning of the assignment. I'm gonna gush about this. When she takes off the hat, she also has on a do-rag, which tickles something in my heart specifically. Bold pinstripe suit with the matching coat and the wide shoulders and the silhouette, but has the big statement jewelry from the collar to the shoes to the cane. Her stance, how proud and regal she looks. Each article of clothing she is wearing makes a statement. This is glamour. Meanwhile, Pharrell clearly didn't give a shit. So I know now that Pharrell's suit jacket is made entirely of pearls. I still don't care. Then you have Lewis Hamilton. Honestly, very beautiful shoes. I love me a good patent leather shoe. And Henry Golding, with the exception of the fact that there really is no like large pieces of jewelry, absolutely got it. Wonderful pattern, and really he looks good in gold. Very masculine. I expect him to be holding a cigar. Coleman Domingo 1 and 2. Very camp. We have some very bold statement pieces. Am not a huge fan of how the the top part of his cape looks in his first look, it's still a statement. Alex Newell, they understood one part. It's a lovely ball gown. They look great, but that's about it. Audra McDonald is really getting the glam part. It's beautiful, but I don't understand dress. We've got a nice silhouette, but like, what's with the strings? Coco Jones absolutely gets it. And while her hair is quite modern in its style, it still has that feminine edge with its plunging neckline and the big, bold necklace. According to the caption, it was incredibly heavy. Adrienne Warren, understated. Whoopi Goldberg, can I just say, she looks great. There's James Corden in the background kind of ruining the photo, but that's not the point. No, okay, hang on. I have to derail talking about Whoopi Goldberg to complain. A theme that centers menswear. Why are you wearing a plain tuxedo? Wear at least a white tuxedo. Wear a white jacket. Get with the fucking program. Anyways, I personally do not like the sleeves, but everything from the shoes to the rings to the chains to the earrings could be a little bolder, but the hat sells it. Twyla, the necklace could be a little bigger, but she gets it. Her hair could be a little less modern. Sarah Snook, wow. But you know what? Absolutely. Old-fashioned tapered silhouette. I love a good butt cape. You got the hips to pull it off, find a butt cape. And honestly, a gorgeous red lip. Look at that. Okay, girl. Maya Hawke, going to the woods. What does this have to do with the theme? Zoe Saldana absolutely gets it. We have a very small, understated butt cape. I don't know if I like the outfit myself. Jenny Ortega is a mannequin. Her dress is made of rulers. That dress is an engineering marvel, but I am not sure what it has to do with the theme. Next, Venus Williams. Why is she wearing oh, the shoes. The shoes are extremely intricate, and I'm sure they're incredibly well made. I just personally think they are ugly as sin. Gigi Hadid. Maybe if she was wearing some gloves. I'd say this outfit is perfect for old Hollywood, a reference to at least the glamour of the era, but this just looks like a modern, very beautiful dress with a rockabilly hairstyle. Diana Ross. Oh my god. I'm looking at the caption, and of course it looks gorgeous by her. It was designed by her son. Holy shit. She looks like she stepped out of an old Hollywood dream. I don't know if ethereal is the right word. Ethereal implies fleeting. She looks timeless. Simone Biles. Tried bold colors, bold patterns, a butt cape. Joey King. Wow. My dear friend Sam from Historically Black Dice said, Joey King has the hair Blake Lively wishes she had, and I have never heard anything more perfect. Hailey Bieber. Okay. Bad Bunny. The bag speaks for itself because it's shouting really loud. Tyler Perry. Understood the statement but needs to make better movies. Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. Gabrielle Union looks very glamorous, and so does Dwayne Wade, but he always looks cold. I feel like Gabrielle Union could have done a bit more. You love a butt cape. Lorde is wearing a full body cummerbund. I want to say it fits with the theme. It's just, Lupita Nyong'o. Oh my good god. Ever since I saw her in that beautiful blue Oscars dress, she has always looked so gorgeous in baby blue. Lupita Nyong'o is one of those people who looks good in everything she wears, even when it's ugly. But here's the thing, this is not ugly. She looks statuesque. Thank you, Tu Wong Fu. Thank you for everything. Love, Julie Newmar. Hey, Pharrell, this is how you wear mother of pearl buttons. God, she looks so classy. I feel like if she walked into a nice restaurant, she would tip her waiter $500 for no reason. You know, I'm still mad about Velma, so I low-key have beef with Mindy Kaling, but she gets it. We have a tapered silhouette, a butt cape, so she gets bonus points. Absolutely regal with the slick back hair. She probably has it braided in the back, I can't tell, but the statement earrings, and we have bling all the way down. I'm still not willing to let go of our beef. I apologize to everyone who really loved the Fallout series. I am not vibing with this. I get what he's trying to do. This is the making of the suit. I see the vision. It does not vibe with me. I am pleading, begging, and wishing this man would do something with his hair, because every time I see it, he's got this Jack Nicholson thing going on, and I need it to stop. Lizzo, we are missing some bright glittery jewelry, but I do not think it matters. And then she has the suit jacket as a part of a dress, and the dress seems to be made of pocket squares, which is amazing. I'm looking at her hair, but with the blonde hair, as beautiful as it is, perfectly curled, perfectly retro, I'm getting kind of like a Greta Garbo, Ingrid Bergman sort of vibe from this. And her corset is a cummerbund. Megan Thee Stallion, another vision of old Hollywood. If you look at her ponytail, style, it is a direct reference to a very famous photo of Josephine Baker. I will say she looks fucking regal. And people like to criticize Megan Thee Stallion because she relies a lot on her sexuality, and I did criticize the Kardashians earlier for that. With this outfit, she is not leading with the sexy. She knows why she is there, and it is to honor a piece of Black culture in the style of Josephine Baker. She is not leading with the sexy. It is just a nice little accessory. Lisa, why are you wearing a leotard? According to this caption, homegirl is wearing panties with Rosa Parks' face on them. I can't show you a picture of this woman's ass, but I think it's true. On today, the natural hair. Really am loving these suits with the plunging necklines. Haley Berry looks very cute. She looks adorable in everything she wears. She's not breasting boobily. She's just got a little bit of boobage. You know what I'm missing from some of these shorter styles? Stockings. I'm missing stockings. Not tights, not nylons, stockings. Ashley Graham, sure. Tessa Thompson. What? Tessa Thompson gets it, even down to the top hat. So this I get. I actually really like it. I mean, the bustle is huge, but I dig it. Miley Cyrus missed the memo. Kerry Washington is wearing a bodysuit. Now, this is a plunging neckline that I can't get with. She does look beautiful, but this isn't vibing with me. She's hitting all the right marks with the hourglass, the amazing looking hat, but I don't know, man. Tracy Ellis Ross. Oh, she's so close. She gets the assignment. She understands 100%. She has the hat. She has the bold colors. There's no patterns, but a mixture of very fine fabrics, but the bow, that's a butt cape I can't get with. Now, Sabrina Carpenter, I am not vibing with the leotards. That is one thing I have never understood about modern pop stars. She does low-key look like she's about to start twirling a baton. Regina King gets it. I am noticing a lack of necklaces, but I do love the braid, how the braids are a fascinator. Very, very beautiful embroidery, like all the way around. Taraji P. Henson. This is something that I have been missing. She is the only celebrity who is wearing a grill. Yes. We could still skip the bodysuit though. Unlike all these other people that have worn bodysuits, she's wearing the stockings. Anne Hathaway looks like she's going to a really, really fancy brunch. Doechii. An afro, finally. Doechii has a bit of an obsession with men's clothing, I've noticed, specifically men's underwear. She's got rings, she's got a cigar, she has an afro, and she's also wearing a grill, thank God. You have no idea how fucking happy I am to see a grill. Grills are something that a lot of people outside of the culture do not understand. When I was coming up, a grill was automatically considered ghetto, but to see it on the red carpet and part of the old Hollywood glamour is like restitution to me. That's my reparations, bitch. Reggae John Page. In everything he's in, he smolders. He does kind of look like a traffic cone, but he looks good nonetheless. It's a very sexy traffic cone. Keke Palmer. Oh, pretty. The pants are taking me out of it though. See, the dress says, I am wearing a tuxedo dress to my wedding with a lovely fascinator and some braids. Also, braids and cornrows were another thing when I was growing up that was considered ghetto or not respectable. And even now, people aren't really allowed to wear cornrows in the workplace, at least in some of the places that I've worked. The capris are really taking me out of it. They're not even capris, they're cropped slacks, but I'm not feeling the cropped slacks. Cynthia Aviro has the right amount of bling. I'm looking now, the hot pants look a little bit like a black diaper. Chapel Roan gets it. She doesn't have the right amount of bling though. She's looking a little more 70s, but with the bold patterns and colors, she gets it. Natasha Lyonne, okay. Demi Moore, she has a circle around her head. Quinta Brunson, oh, I really do love the hair. And I think she really succeeds, especially with the vertical stripes. The pinstripes are beaded. She has a nice bold flower. She needs a necklace. Some of these people are missing a necklace. She gets it regardless. I think that's a nice balance of masculine and feminine. Angela Bassett, yes, the hat makes her look like an Arby's logo, but still, she's got the natural hair. She's got a bold pattern with some velvet and a cane and some big bold rings. She's got a little bit of bling. I'm really loving the capes and the coats. Madonna gets it, but there's not enough bling and it could be a different color and her pants are dirty. Nicole Kidman, she definitely heard the retro part. Cardi B, I like the green. Green is my favorite color. She's got a cummerbund, wide leg pants. I can't tell if she's wearing platforms. She probably is because she's a tiny lady. I won't lie. I do love me a good long jacket. Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe in a suit is like balm to my troubled soul. She always looks so incredible in a suit. The monocle, the bag's a little questionable, but the monocle, I think, substitutes for the fact that she's not wearing any earrings. Janelle Monáe in a suit. That's where I'm gonna end the sentence because that's all you need to say. Halle Berry. Even Ayo in the back looks shocked because I'm shocked because, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but that's a real pussy outlook. She ain't got no panties on. Ain't got no panties on. She ain't got no panties on the dance floor. Like I said before about Kim Kardashian, Halle Berry, usually while I like what she wears in events like this, she is definitely leading with the sexy. There is a reference to black dandyism with the top of the dress and the really blinged out necklace, but other than that, she's really just wearing a nice sexy dress with a fascinator. Zendaya, who usually goes all out for these events, is honestly just wearing a very gorgeous tapered suit, which makes me a little sad. This is a woman who has worn a suit of armor, and I was kind of hoping that she was gonna wear something big, bold, and incredible. She looks amazing. She looks like someone from American Gods, where she would walk in and like this really eerie music would start playing. And she definitely understands the theme. Her outfit is personally disappointing to me because I expected something big and bold. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. Nick Jonas getting upstaged by his wife. Again, Rihanna. She's wearing a church hat. As much of a silhouette as she can manage. I do wish she'd worn a different color, but she does have some wingtips. I am missing a little bit of bling. Unlike a lot of people on the red carpet, because I said that a lot of people look like they don't want to be here, she looks genuinely proud and happy to be there. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, we have Andre 3000. Andre 3000 is one of the, I wouldn't say few, but one of the more well-known black dandies in modern memory. And he came with a piano on his back, carrying a trash bag in a jumpsuit. And this outfit says a number of things. Black artists, specifically the ones that raised him, really carried the music industry on their backs. A lot of white artists like Elvis took popular R&B or black music, I wouldn't even say made it their own, but straight up copied it word for word and made it more palatable. Ethnic fashion in general, from black culture to Asian culture to Middle Eastern culture, a lot of it is misunderstood and is sort of disregarded as weird or strange and is often broken down to be made more palatable to a wider audience, aka a Western audience, to make it more acceptable. What Andre 3000 is wearing is not something that is particularly acceptable. I mean, he's wearing a piano on his back, despite the fact that he is still wearing a designer. He is wearing an understated jumpsuit with very little, and he's wearing a trash bag because you have all these artists of color who have carried the industry and carried the art on their back and have only been given scraps in return. So this outfit is a cry for vindication. Art is not just for consumption. I have to force you to see it, to look at it, to see me. Andre 3000 is known for having very bold fashion statements that sometimes don't make sense to others. Cringe culture does not exist. Yeah, some people can be embarrassing, some people can be misunderstood, some things seem outlandish and they seem strange, maybe even straight up objectionable or offensive, but they still must exist because it is still a reflection of the human condition. So what Andre 3000 is saying is that the future generations have to continue to make art, even if it's only for scraps, because it is how we survive. One of the most basic tenets of your personal agency is choosing your preferences and the way you interpret things. There is no shame in being a little bit weird, and as a matter of fact, with everything going on, it is our God-given duty to be a lot weird. The Met Gala is a part of the system or whatever, but what we saw today are tons different interpretations of the concept of black dandyism, especially as an expression of oneself, because what you put on that day is your armor, even if it's a gray t-shirt. Even though I'm not wearing any makeup, I'm in my glasses, and I'm wearing a t-shirt and some sweats, I have on my engagement ring. My engagement ring symbolizes something that that is a deep-rooted part of me, and that is my bond of love to my fiance. I get to express my love silently every single time I record one of these videos and every single time I wear it out in public. And sometimes I wear it just for me. Now, are there some people who I think didn't follow the theme at all and are just there for the food? Yes. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because what the Met Gala is doing is using the money from private firms to preserve their costume collection. The Met Gala is not necessarily the pinnacle of art preservation, but at this stage of the game, we need to take what we can get. Anything we can do to keep art going, to keep it alive, it has to be done. And I know I'm bringing you all down from my cute and kitschy red carpet review, but the fact of the matter is, no matter how vapid it may seem, it is still necessary to preserve what people have created. We should be creating something, even if it's just a mess. You can find me on any piece of social media: Instagram, Bluesky, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do no harm, take no shit, stay weird, lovely, and happy eating.